period. 2020, August 31st, 7:53 a.m. The as Napoleon does his thing in the king's chamber, he emerged the next morning or the next day or whatever time period later. He was asked what happened, what did he experience, and his reply to his most trusted was, "If I told you, you wouldn't believe it." Period. So we have a vision, or possibly some type of gateway travel, or something to that effect in the king's chamber, Khufu. Period. The equivalency of that chamber would be the front porch of the Temple of Venus, Temple of Juno, Capitoline Hill. Period. Which, come to think of it, depending on a few not all that close architectural formats, the White House is also designed to be Capitoline Hill-esque. Period. The rooms are nowhere near close to, well, actually, this period, that's not entirely true, because you do have the West Wing, and the West Wing would be in the position of the Palatine Hill. So you have the Palatine Hill, the West Wing, and then you have the White House, Capitoline Hill, and then you have the stuff on the east side, and that'd be the Esquiline Hill. That'd be where the Curia Julii and some of the other curias and the Imperiophora and such. So that's, in a way of looking at it, that's the White House is stylized, about 60% stylized of the Capitoline Hill. Period. Which means that I need to take the Narmer monolith, the fleet, and apply it to DC and find out where it fits. Period. Now, it will only kind of fit over the blueprint of the White House. Period. But there's no reason why I can't fit fairly well that strip, which is just slightly off even. A strip of building, the White House, the Capitol building, the Lincoln Memorial, Jefferson Memorial, and such. These monuments, period, and the Smithsonian, of course. These monuments could be laid out in using the Narmer monolith as an architectural blueprint for the city. Period. Which on another subject, a fictional subject, brings up, okay, which buildings are a representation of the Colosseum and that configuration of buildings, and were they intended to be that way, but later architects erased and rebuilt and did not know or did not care about stylizing DC according to the functionality and structure of the Narmer monolith, the Narmer plate. Period. Wow. Okay, that brings up some very interesting stuff, ideas, and concepts. It's entirely possible that one of the reasons why America is suffering so much problems under the current political strife, a renewal of the Boston Tea Party. Period, which is hysterical beyond hysterical, because the quote-unquote Tea Party love the Boston Tea Party because it's in their favor. They hate the current protests, which are identical to the Boston Tea Party, except for a lot less violent, because the current protests tell them they're wrong. Period. They love protests when they're on the right, but they hate protests when they're on the wrong, because the protesters are telling them you're doing something wrong. Period. That's hysterical to me. Period. The continuation of whatever Napoleon experienced in that chamber, being part that those behavior patterns and that location and what happened in that chamber and in that building, and what it's associated with, tie into a single subject. They tie into a single, not only subject, but an equation that talks about the possibility of of a 1A, you have Memento Mori 1A is some type of violence, the name of Narmer to strike. Much more to come.